Brothers and sisters, we are back today. We are back today. We're going to talk about the Western Conference. We're going to talk about the NBA. We're going to talk about the Western Conference. Just talk about the state of the teams. We're going to talk about the Western Conference, the whole conference, real quick. I'm just get here started real quick. We're going to start from positions 1 through 6. So in the order, because I have my notes right here, but I don't write records down because I don't need records. But anyway, 1 through 6 in this order: Denver, Sacramento, Memphis, Phoenix, Dallas, Golden State. Those are the top 6 right now. So let's talk about them real quick. Denver. Denver right now is the most complete team in the Western Conference. I don't want to say the NBA because there are teams in the East that are very complete too. They are either the most complete team in the West or the team that's got it the closest right now. Last year, the problem was they just didn't have enough, right? Because, they had Jokic and, Aaron Gordon was there, but no Jamal Murray, no Marco Porter Jr. Now they're here. And then you get Bruce Brown in the free agency. You get Reggie Jackson via waivers. You get rid of Bones Highland. He wanted some minutes. They weren't giving it to him. Denver just has a really good team. Nikola Jokic will probably set the record for the most MVPs won consecutively. He probably win his 3rd straight. At the beginning of the season, I thought it would be Jason Tatum. Then Luka kind of took it over. Then I started to sway to Giannis. But now it's like, but Nikola Jokic has been it. He's been in it all year, and I think he's the front runner, whatever. So I think he'll win his 3rd straight MVP. And the thing is, people talk about how you patch his stats. When he gets a triple-double, Denver is undefeated. They're like 25, 26, and 0 when he wins. So, yeah, he might pad his stats, but they're winning. It's a difference. If you're winning and you pad your stats, it doesn't matter. You're playing good basketball. And he plays good basketball. He plays. He's not athletic, but the way he just plays, it's a beauty. It's a beauty to watch. It's a great thing to watch. So, Denver's playing great basketball. Murray, he's proved that after the ACL injury, it's not holding the bag. Marco Porter Jr., I'm glad he's healthy and his back is not giving him issues. They just have a real good team, man. They got a real good team. Can't forget about Aaron Gordon, he has always been playing good for them. So they're legit. They're legit. I say they are the team to beat. I said another team I'm gonna talk about later. They are probably the team to beat in the West. I'm going to say they're going to make at least the Western Conference Finals. At least. So that's the Nuggets. Moving right along, we have the Sacramento Kings. Now, I thought this was going to be Memphis, but we'll talk about Memphis in a second. But it's Sacramento. Man, they are making me believers every day. Now, I don't think they can win the West, because I just think that there are at least 2 teams, at least 2, because I have to go through and really look at who I think could be the Kings. But I think there are at least 2 teams that could best Sacramento in a 7-game series. I would say they could get to second round. If they get to conference finals, I think that's a W season. W season, then you gotta try to figure out how to get to the finals. But if you guys get to second round, 3rd round, great season. Domantas Sabonis, he's been playing great all year. Parlay's been hitting. De'Aaron Fox, amazing. He should have been. He should. Was he an All-Star this year? I know Sabonis was. No, Fox was not an All-Star this year. Man, Kevin Huerter, Trey Lyles. I gotta remember everybody on their team. Davion Mitchell. I think it is Davion or Devon Mitchell. I forget his name. Yeah, I think that's his name. Harrison Barnes, of course. Still on the team. There's a lot of names on teams, but they are playing really good basketball. I'm happy for them because they haven't made the playoffs in like 20 years. I think the last time I made the playoffs, I was like a baby. I was like 2 years old. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. So I'm really happy for Sacramento. I think the record right now, about last looked at it, I just looked at the record. They're 38-26 at the same record as Memphis. So they're playing great. Keep that foot on the gas pedal. They're going to get there. They're going to be, I think with the way the West looks, I think Sacramento will finish at least top 4. I think. They should. They will finish top 6. I think they'll finish top 6. Unless they go on some type of catastrophic loser streak. Where I'm talking about, like, where they lose like maybe like 6, 7, 8 games in a row. But I think they're playing too good. I don't think that's going to happen. But kudos Sacramento, they're playing really great so far. Next up, Memphis. Ja Morant, and I actually had just uploaded just a little short about this. I may make a more in-depth video on this, maybe. Ja Morant is single-handedly destroying the Grizzlies' chances at the championship, right? Because midway through the season, or like through the first 34 games, we was like, Memphis is pretty good. They're gonna make at least the Western Finals. But the way Memphis is right now, like they're tied for second. They're technically third because the way the standings are, they have Sacramento 2, Memphis 3. So I'm assuming because they have a loser, Memphis has lost their last 3 straight. That's why Sacramento's ahead of them. But man, like, it sucks. And don't get me wrong, Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr., Dylan Brooks, I forget everybody. Luke Kennard. I can't say his name. He just tore his ACL. I forget his name. What's the brother's name? Brandon Clark, I believe that's in it. Yeah, he just tore his ACL. They have decent names, but Ja Morant is a superstar player. Without Ja Morant, they are not winning the Western Conference. Hell, they may not be making out the second round. They might be a first round limb and out. Like, they'll make I think they may stay top 6 and maybe. I know there'll be at least play-in because they would have to just lose like 10 straight games for that. I don't think that'll happen. Desmond Bane, Brooks, Jaren Jackson Jr., I think they will be enough to make the playoffs, if not the play-in for sure. But without Ja Morant, they're not winning the NBA championship. It sucks for his situation. I'm not gonna go into depth about it because it's about the team. But they're a different team without him, and man, it sucks. It really sucks. But let's just hope that Memphis can just hold on. And if Ja Morant could come back, great. That's great. He can help them. If he comes back, great. They'll maintain a top 3, top 4 position. But if he can't, that is going to be unfortunate. So good luck to the Grizzlies. And moving on, now it is the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix, they're in a great situation. I think Phoenix has won like 4 or 5 straight games. They have beat. They just beat Dallas. I don't know if they played since Sunday. They probably played tonight as Wednesday. Yeah, I don't think they played since Sunday. They probably had 2 nights off. They won like 4 or 5 straight games. I know they beat the Bulls. And before that, then I think they beat the Hornets. That first game came back with the Hornets. I watched that game. That was pretty good. There was like another game between. Phoenix is playing good, and they're playing good at the right time. The problem, the biggest problem that we say about Sacramento will be not Sacramento. Phoenix would be it was going to be the fact that how can KD and Aiden and Booker and Paul all mesh together, and it's been working good so far. Chris Paul could score only 8 points a game, and they'll win because Kevin Durant and Devin Booker are going to get 25, 30 plus. DeAndre Ayton is going to be a guy. He also probably only get maybe like 10, 12 points, but he's going to get a lot of rebounds. So they've been playing good. I think Booker and KD both scored like 35 plus against Dallas. That was insane. They've been playing good, man. They've been good. They've been good. They've been playing good, man. I would say this like they're at like I said, they're 5, 6 in a row. If they get that win streak up to 10, 11, they get on like a Milwaukee type streak, they're going to be right there with Sacramento and Memphis. I don't think they'll catch up to Denver. I think Denver has the number 1 seed locked up. They don't have it locked up indefinitely now, but man, like they're going to be right there. They have a chance to at least get the 2nd seed. And I think they'll pass Memphis. I really do think they'll pass Memphis. If it's a situation with Ja Morant, he don't play for the rest of the season, Memphis will be passed by Phoenix and Golden State, at least. I'll talk about Golden State in a second. But Phoenix been good, man. And you know what? They had a great start to the season. They had a disastrous kind of middle of the season. They had to start with the owner, and they were just playing bad. And But you know what? They're here. They're 36-29, I believe, and they're playing good. They're playing good basketball, man. They're playing good. I really want to see where this goes. I think they will make the. I think it will be a Denver. Well, the way they're fourth, so they will play second round. Ooh, so they would have to get to like second or third place. But I think that will happen though. But I think it's going to be a Denver Phoenix conference finals. But yeah, they're playing good. And moving on, the Dallas Mavericks, Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. How can I describe how they've been playing so far together? I mean, offensively, they've both been playing great. You know, but they're both scoring. They had the 40-point. They both have 40 each against the Sixers, and they won that game. But I think they're like 2-5 or like 3-5 together. So they have a negative record together. You know, they won like gimmies. You know, they beat the Spurs. I think Kyrie beat the Clippers by himself. But Dallas, they just got to continue to figure it all out. You know, Kyrie and Luka with less than 20 games left. Where they get it together, I don't know. So honestly, I don't even know where Dallas is going to finish. They could get on a hot streak, finish fourth, third, or something like that. But I don't know. They're fifth right now. They're top six. But in terms of structure, I think the only team that I would say that they could, without a confidence, I would say they could beat right now in the top six is probably Memphis and maybe Sacramento. Maybe Sacramento. Because I don't think they'll lose to Golden State. I don't think with Phoenix, with KD, they're not gonna lose to Phoenix. They're not gonna lose to Denver. I don't know, but it's just the name of the game. They just got to get it together. They just got to figure it all out, man. They just got to figure it all out. If they can, they'd be great. They'd be great to be top six. But even if they do, I still don't see this team. I don't see this team making it to the West Finals. I think they'll play together. Maybe they catch a little bit of fire. Maybe they get past first round, but I think they're a second round limb to like Denver or Phoenix, as I mentioned, or maybe even Sacramento, something like that. But again, we just have to see. You know, if I'm proven wrong, then I'm proven wrong. So hey, that's the Mavericks. Moving on, number 6, the champs. Of course, Golden State is going to be in the mix. They recently just got back Steph Curry. I believe he came back Sunday. So I think he's played 2 games. Yeah, he's played 2 games. They beat the Lakers. And then, did they beat the Lakers? No, they lost to the Lakers. I'm sorry, they lost to the Lakers. And then they just lost last night to OKC. Curry looks great. I was actually really impressed with the Warriors during the time he was injured. They actually played pretty well. He came back. There were 4 games over. They lost the last 2 though. But Golden State, they're in a decent position. They're in a decent position. I think they will pass up Denver. And you know, if they, like I said, if they somehow get on a similar streak like Phoenix. They went right off 8, 9, 10 games in a row. Then they get up there past Memphis and Sacramento. But the Golden State, I think they're 34-26. You know, so it's about a 3 or 4 game difference between them and Phoenix. So they will finish at least top 5 of the conference for sure. So that's really all I have to say about Golden State. We all know about them. We all know about the championship DNA about them, and you know, Golden State, they're always going to be in the mix. You never count on Golden State until they actually get eliminated. And they're here, and they're cooking. So let's just see where everything goes from here. So that is the Golden State Warriors. All right, next up, we're talking about the play-in teams right now. So currently in the play-in, so in order from 7 to 10, it is Minnesota Timberwolves, the Los Angeles Clippers, the Los Angeles Lakers, and the New Orleans Pelicans. I'm gonna say this right now. I personally think these will be the 4 teams in the play-in. I would say that right now. I mean, you know, we'll talk about the last 5 teams at the end, but I do think for the way they're playing, I think they will be the last. They will be the 4 teams in the play-in, rather from either how they're playing right now or just from a talent aspect. So let's get into it. So number 7, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Wow. wow. Like, I'm genuinely impressed with the Timberwolves right now because I was saying, right, I think in my Northwest division review of them, I said that they were playing. I had said that they were playing. They were do God words. They were disappointing. I think I had said, but then you have to realize that Karl-Anthony Towns has been injured for like 3 months now. I think it's I don't know the exact injury it is, but they've been playing well. And you would have thought with him being out, they would have just plummeted in the standings. Yeah, they lost Beverly, but it was like Beverly, he's a voice, and he has good defense. But how bad can they be? And they were disappointed. But he's been out. You trade D'Angelo Russell. I think Malik Beasley was on the team. You get rid of him. Jared Vanderbilt, you get rid of him, and their team just looks kind of depleted. I mean, Rudy Gobert's still there, but the team just looks kind of depleted, and they have been playing magnificent basketball. Magnificent. Anthony Edwards, man, that brother's been playing great. He's been great. I think he's averaging about 25 points a game right now. He's been great, and I think defensively, I looked at his defensive numbers. He's been playing like really good defenses here too, so that's really good. Especially from a young player like him who's a terrific offensive player. So if he could develop into that and then lead offensive two-way player, that'll be fantastic. So, but Minnesota, they're playing great. Whether they'll keep the 7th spot, I don't know, because they could mess around and play a slew of really good teams like they did last night. Like they got pummeled last night against Philadelphia by like almost 30 points. And Anthony Edwards scored like 30 points, and I think the team only had an 80 point. It was crazy, but he's been keeping that team afloat. They've just been playing well. So kudos to Minnesota. Moving on is we're gonna move on to the Los Angeles Clippers, and I'm gonna say this. I'm a Clippers fan, and sometimes it is hard watching the Clippers play for the reasons of you have Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and Russell Westbrook, and I think together those three guys lost like their first like 4 or 5 games in a row. They just got their first win, I think, together when they beat Memphis, but it's like Memphis doesn't have Ja Morant, and the thing is about that game is that they let Memphis drop like 50 points in the third quarter. I don't know what it is about third quarters with the Clippers. Like, in the Golden State game last week, they were up by like 12 or 11 at halftime, and then the Warriors exploded in the third quarter. The same thing happened here. They're up by like 6, 7, 8 points, and then Memphis explodes in the third quarter. Luckily, they came back and won that game still, but it's like you beat a team without their superstar. I don't get it. The Clippers just got to get it together. They just got to get it together, man. They're in a similar situation like the Mavericks, kind of, right? Because because Russ is trying to figure out how can he work in the offense, but being a Clippers fan, I just thought that the way the Clippers looked before I just thought Reggie Jackson, John Wall, those guys are just better with the team. Like I said, I don't mind like Bones Highland, Eric Gordon, Mason Plumlee. Like those are great additions, but I just thought if they had those guys plus Reggie Jackson and John, I thought they would have been really good. So I don't know. I just don't know if Russell Westbrook could be on a roster where you could say, yeah, that team's gonna win a championship. He'll have to be on the bench. Like Russell, I like Russ, but I just think to this point, I just don't think the Clippers are going to win the championship. And I know Charles Barkley keeps saying they are, but I don't. He said that they're going to make the West Finals, but I don't see that happening. So, but like I said, me being a Clippers fan, I'm optimistic. I hope it can happen. I really do, please. But just being objective here, I don't think it's going to happen. So, from one LA team to the next. So let's move next door. The Lakers. So, of course, we got the news about LeBron James. He's listed to be about, and they're like 2.5 weeks with his foot injury. D'Angelo Russell got injured, like I believe, also about a week or and a half ago. He got injured right before LeBron did. I think LeBron and D'Angelo Russell got injured like in the same week. So at this point, the Lakers are just playing to just stay alive, basically. They're just playing so the cavalry can come back and win. Because I think D'Angelo Russell will be back before LeBron does. Because I think LeBron has like a stress, like a foot fracture or something like that. Like something like that. I think AD and D'Angelo Russell, they can hold down the fort till LeBron come back. And if they do, I'm gonna be honest, the Lakers can get to a top 6 seed. They can get there. Like I said, I don't know how things are going with I don't know how Dallas is gonna finish. Depending on what happened with John Morant, they can fall down the center. So, and I think right now they are better than the Clippers. They are better than Minnesota. I can see them getting to a top 6 seed. So it just depends on how they play in the stretch without LeBron, and then when he comes back, how they play. And I think they will play good with LeBron and AD. So AD's been dominant. He had like that 30 and 20 game last night. He's been playing really great. Staying healthy. Please stay healthy, AD. We need you to stay healthy. We need you to stay healthy. Please stay healthy. So, that's the Lakers, man. They've been rolling lately. So, and also AD, play in the back-to-back games. Why did you not play in the back-to-back? Like, I think last year when they played against Memphis, and then he missed the OKC game. Play in the back-to-back games. Play in them. Yeah, I know they did win that game against OKC, but damn it, play in the back-to-back games. Moving on. The New Orleans Pelicans. I can't really even say the Pelicans are disappointing this year because the Pelicans have just had a lot of injuries. We haven't seen Zion in like a month and a half. Brandon Ingram's back. I think CJ has been the healthiest out of all their top players. Jonas Valanciunas, he's been healthy. I think he had a game or two he was out. But Zion's the main key. Here. He's the main key. He's a superstar player. He has to be there. When he's there, I think when he plays, I think the Pelicans are like 20-8, 20-10. Like they're a really good team when he's there. So it's on him. He has to play. He has to play. And if he doesn't, the Pelicans they're gonna be where they are because Ingram is great, but I don't think Ingram's a superstar player. And Zion's got to come back. He's got to come back. If he does, I think they will elevate. Because when he's there, I think they are better than Minnesota. Honestly, I think they're better than the Clippers. I do. So, let's just hope he comes back. And if he does, let's see what they can really do. Don't have too much to say about them. But also another thing is they be getting off to at the beginning of the game they be getting off to real slow starts. They got to get that together. This was just a little side note, but they need to get Zion healthy. Because those guys are playing well. Now outside of the guys I just mentioned, the star players, Herbert Jones, Jose Alvarado, I forget everybody else on the team, but those they're all playing with. It's just Zion. Zion's the missing piece. Get Zion back. They'll be there. If Zion comes back and he's healthy, they will make the playoffs. They will. Whether they win the championship is to be determined. So, it will just depend on who they're facing. So, yeah, that's the Pelicans. Just Zion, please come back. Please come back. We need you. The NBA needs you. Please. All right. Last but not least, the bums. Well, not bums because there's only really 2 bums in the conference, and one of those bums are one of my teams. And now I just got sad. But anyway, the last 5. So we're gonna start there with the Oklahoma City Thunder. This is Lucas' favorite team. But the OKC they had, so as I talked about, they started the season where they looked like they were going to be probably just as bad as the Spurs and Rockets. But then they really got together. Shai is single-handedly carrying the hell out of the Thunder right now. And I think they got to the point where they were like 1 or 2 games above 500. But the last like 5 or 6 games or so they've been playing, they have not been playing great. And that's not their fault because Shai has been injured. So they desperately need Shai. I think it's Shai. They desperately need Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. If he's not there, OKC they're a bad team. I'm sorry, they're a bad team. They're a bad team. I know Giddy's a solid player, but they're a bad team without Shea. He just like Luka. He need if Shea gets a second star player, OKC is a playoff team. They are. They are a playoff team because they got really good solid pieces. But with Shea, I would say they're probably the way they're playing. They're probably about an average team, maybe a little bit above average. But they desperately need Shea to play. I think he did play. I think he did play when they beat the Golden State last year, but they need him to play. They need him to play. So for the Thunder, I mean, they can still make it. Like I said, I do think that with the teams that are the teams, Minnesota, LA, both LA teams, and I do think that is set in stone. I would say the only team they may catch is maybe the Pelicans. It just depends on Zion or Minnesota. If Minnesota just randomly just starts losing games, but I think both LA teams are fine. But yeah, man, OKC just stay healthy. We just have to see where it goes from there. Moving on. Portland. The Blazers. I'm not gonna lie. I had very high hopes of the Blazers this year because because Lillard was going to be on like a revenge tour kind of thing, trying to prove that he could still be that dog kind of. I don't think nobody doubted him, but like just because he was out for the year, people just tend to forget, right? Anthony Simmons played great in his absence. You get Grant, you trade Hart, you had Hart, you got Nurkic, but they've been disappointed, man. They've been disappointed. I mean, Lillard. His scoring has been crazy. He had that 70-point game, I think, like 2 weeks ago. He's been playing great, but it's a combination of injuries and disappointment because we haven't seen Nurkic in a while. Simons has been injured. Grant's been injured, so it's kind of more of the same. Just Lillard by himself, balling out, but it's not really resulting to nothing. But I'm gonna be honest, like I said, same with the Thunder. They could get one of those play-in spots, but I don't think it will happen. I don't think it will happen. I think I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm not like if they get healthy, maybe, but I don't know. It's hard to say. I had high hopes for the Blazers. I don't know. Coming in the number 13 spot that we have, the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz, they're not making the playoffs. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They had the All-Star game. That's the highlight for y'all. That's it. Y'all not making a play. I'm sorry. They had the hot start to the season, and then since then they've just been cooling off. I think they're like 4 or 5 games out of 500. They're not making a play. I mean the Spurs snapped their 16-game losing streak by beating the Thunders, beating the Jets. They're not making the playoffs. Lauri Markkanen's been playing great, but they just need more. They need more. They finally got rid of Mike Conley. You still got Clarkson. I'm drawing blanks. Who else is on that team? Sexton. They just need more. They need more. I don't know how much more they need, but they need more. They're not making the playoffs. I mean, unless they're going some type of big push, but I don't think that's going to. They honestly, Utah, they probably should have been just as bad as the Spurs and Rockets, but had it not been for that hot start to the start of the season, that's why they're even in the mix of getting, in the mix of probably getting one of those spots. Honestly, if that didn't happen, they probably will have maybe like 10 less wins, 8 less wins. They wouldn't be as bad as the Spurs or Rockets. They probably would still maybe be about 6-7 games better than them, but they would not be in the conversation for playing spots. So I don't know, just next year, just see what y'all do next year, because I don't think it's gonna happen this year. Even though I know y'all right there, but I just don't think the other teams ahead of y'all they're just better. They're just better. Then the San Antonio Spurs. Boy, do I long for the days of Tony Parker and Tim Duncan again, because the Spurs they're bad. They're bad. They're bad, and it had it not be for Houston and Detroit and Charlotte, they're bad. They're not the worst team in the league, but they're right there. they're bad. They're just not. They're. Oof. They I think so far they have had the biggest losing streak in the association. They had a 16-game losing streak. They had a recently snapped, I think last week, but they're just not good. I don't know how Greg Popovich didn't retire after like DeMar DeRozan. I don't know, but they're bad, man. They're bad, but high hopes. They're gonna try to go for Victor. If they get him, then great. They'll be back on the uprise, but they're bad. It's from someone that's been a Spurs fan for the last, I would say, almost 10 years. It's been tough watching the Spurs, but it's been tough, and I'm sticking by them because they're on my team. But it has been tough. It has been tough watching. Like I think they're last in the points per game. So teams are running up 130, 40, 50 points against the Spurs. It's hard to watch. I'm just gonna move on before I get any more sad than I already am. Next up is Rockets. Again, also just a bad team. Honestly, to be fair, I think they are better than the Spurs. To me, Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr., I think Sugan is his name. I think they are a better team than the Spurs. They just have not been playing good. And they are pretty bad too. And it's really funny because I think last week they had the home and home thing with the Spurs. I think this past weekend, on I think it was either Friday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday. And the Rockets won both those games, and the Rockets are still last in the conference. I don't know how that happened, but they are bad. They're bad, man, and they're not making the playoffs. They were the Spurs and Rockets have 15 wins, 16 games to this point, so they're not making it. Both teams are probably gonna lose 60+ games, but man, the Rockets are not good. So that is bad. All right, guys, it's gonna be the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for taking some time out of your day to watch this. I'm very interested to see how the Western Conference goes down, because the Eastern Conference, to me, the East it's kind of, I don't know, the East the East looks set in stone, especially that top six. It feels set in stone. They could move around, but I just feel like that top six is set in stone. The play-in teams are interesting, and then you got the bad teams. But the West it's a wild. It's back to the wild West days. So I'm very interested how the West looks at the end of the season. So that is my review for the Western Conference. Like I said, there's about 19, 18, 17-ish games left. So I say it's about a month of basketball left. So let's enjoy it and see how it all ends. So like I said, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Master J15. Peace.